Hey guys, welcome to Reagan Ranch. Today I'm going to be doing a loadout for the 2025 Proving Grounds National Championship. I'll start with I was in the Master Division. I ended up taking first place, and this is what I had. This will hopefully give you a good idea what you may need to compete. Some of it's probably a little overkill. There's probably a lot of stuff on here. I've been doing some of this for a long time and a lot of trial and error, but at least hopefully this will give you a good idea what you need to start. So let's dive in here. We'll start with the rifle. I don't want to go over all the little parts, but I will say it's a 16-inch rifle. I do have, like again, your ambi here. I've got, basically everything's custom on this. I believe it's a ballistic advantage barrel. I do have the BCM upper and handguard arrow lower. Kind of just have it set up with all the parts that I like. For the optic, I have the Vortex Razor 1 to 10, and then an Trijicon RMR on top. I will say this for people starting out. I know the Razor is a bit kind of hard to swallow. I went from a Strike Eagle. Actually, I went from a Viper 1 to 6, Strike Eagle 1 to 8, second focal plane, Strike Eagle first focal plane 1 to 8, and then to this. And the Viper 1 to 6 is probably still my favorite. It's just when you have to reach out, there's just not enough magnification there. With that said, this particular weekend, I never went past 5 on here, but this is a great optic. It's very clear. I never used the RMR on top. It's zeroed for 25 yards, and we never had a target that was, I think the closest one was 75 yards, so I never even took this rubber cap off. I will say real quick, I have these 100 concept scope cover things. I really, really like these. I think there's some other companies making these now, which is good, but I can keep them on the gun all weekend and flip them on and off really quick. Sometimes I'll even run a stage starting with them on. We ran through a creek. I'm glad I did, because when I was pulling up to the rifle part, I noticed a lot of mud on here that probably would have been on my optic had I not had these on, but I flipped them off, shot rifle, yay raw. Also, quick shout out to Rogel Tactical. This is their mag block. It's kind of, keeps, so I don't like putting anything in my barrel, so I like having something like this. I know there are a couple places that don't like these still, which I don't understand. It bolts back. Even if there was something in there, there's no way for it to get to it. Whatever, but really like that. Let's go to pistol now. And again, if you guys have any questions about anything particular on any of this stuff that I don't dive into detail on, feel free to leave some comments, ask away. Pistol, I'm a Walther fanboy. I have the Walther PDP steel frame match. The only two aftermarket items on here, I guess there's technically three, are the lock grips, suppressor height sights, but I have a ZR Tactical long stroke guide rod in here, which I don't always use. I use it when I use competition ammo. When I use factory ammo, which I actually did that weekend, I put in the stock guide rod or their V-Spec, ZR Tactical's V-Spec guide rod. But they're a local company to me. They're here in Indiana, so I like supporting them. And plus, it's easy to go actually look at the item first. But love this gun. Love the Trijicon RMR HD up top. This thing is bulletproof. This thing has... There was a stage where there was a malfunction. I cleared the gun, but I threw it. I was on my own out at my ranch practicing and threw it like 20 yards and came back, and it was still zeroed perfectly fine. So really like this gun, really like this setup. I use a Dara holster, and I'll get into that when I get into the belt, but I really like the Dara holsters as well. I will say for the magazines, for the pistol, I use the Walther 20-round mags that they have, and I also use their 18-round mags, but the 18-round mags have the ZR Tactical base plates. I like their base plate, adds a little bit so it falls, but I use the 20-round mag actually primarily with the stock Walther base plate. It's just their stock magazine. For the rifle, I used windowed PMags. I have 5 windowed PMags. I have a little system set up. The first 4 are one kind, first 3 are one kind of ammo. The next 2 are another kind. But I did bring one different mag, and it's because of this on the bottom. This is from Frico. It's a +2 extender, but you can see it's got some grip to it. I like the way they look, and I said I'm gonna give them a try. So I bought 2 3-packs. I put one on this mag and took just one mag with me. They go on the Gen 3s. My windowed were Gen 2s, so took it with me. I used it on one stage, and thank goodness I did, because I dropped the mag, it was empty, and I ejected 1 round. So I used 31 rounds, where I would have had to do a mag change before, which would have cost me time. Didn't have to do that. I have now since bought 5 Gen 5 windowed mags and put these on all 5 of those. So those will be running exclusively from now on, pretty much. We'll go into the actually gun belt here, since it's kind of in the way. Gun belt is X Umbris. I really like it. It's stiff. I've had quite a few gun belts. It's been my favorite by far. It's stiff. It's not got a lot going on, and I really like that. Again, Dara holster. I really like the Dara holsters. I like their hood. I know it sounds weird, like their click, it's just so, like everything feels so solid. I also have their system you can take off. Obviously with the other one, I can just real quick, I can change that out, boom, done. This is actually set up for a different PDP I own, but can't say enough about that. Always keep a pair of gloves on here. Sometimes I take them off before I run. This particular weekend, I only used them for 1 or 2 stages, and it was 30 to 40 degrees. I'll actually get into why after that. I don't like them on my shooting hand. I don't mind it on my support hand, but not the shooting hand, so I try to avoid that, but I did have to use them for a couple. G-code mag retention. I have, so these are all on Tech Lock. If you can see that or not. Just knocking stuff off now. They're all in the Tech Lock system. I put extra Velcro back here. These are super easy to change out. And I do that because sometimes you'll need just pistol mags. You'll need just rifle. But this particular weekend, I kept this setup, the 2 and 2. I never changed it, but I can change it. I have some others that are like this. So if I need 3 or 4, I've got just pistol, just rifle, so I can change that out pretty quick. I've really used it more in the tactical games when I started doing the change out for different stages, because the way they do their stages here, you don't have to do it as much. So I had this set up the entire weekend and didn't change a thing. I used the blue Force Gear pouch, super lightweight. Proving grounds, you do have to, you have mag retention. You have to keep your mags with you the whole weekend. A lot of people use these for that. I did not. I actually didn't use this at all, but I will use this sometimes if there's a run in an event, or maybe it is a run and gun or some type of event. I'll keep bottles of water in there to help out with, or sometimes if I need to carry maybe multiple, there are times I've actually had to drop mags in there. We'll get rid of that now. Let's see what we dropped over here. GoPro. I just have an old GoPro 7, 8, I don't know, 10. I don't know, some GoPro that I use for the head thing. I use the old school stuff. I don't have a fancy new one. I use that to get most of the video. Or, we'll go into the plate carry here, but this is a Apparel Concepts Slickster. I have the Jackrabbit plates. I really like their plates. I do actually put, it was like kind of like a thicker yoga mat. I'll cut it out, put that in the back side, even though these are soft, just to have a little extra cushion. Plus it helps make sure I'm at weight for the 15 pounds. I really like the Jackrabbits because you can move them around. The RX plates are also nice. I use the Chase Tactical 3 mag pouch Velcro. Really like it. Tried a bunch of different ones. This is my favorite. One thing I have on here that I usually don't have is this. This is by Shellback Tactical. It is a little hand warmer pouch, and I kept a hand warmer in here the entire weekend, which is why I was saying with the gloves, I didn't have to use my gloves. I use them for 2 stages actually. I think that's all, because my hands were so warm after the first stage. With the hand warmer in here, I'd pull up to a stage, ready, get ready to go, and I'd take them out 10 seconds before, and my hands were just fine the entire stage. Also going back to this, sometimes I'll put mags in here, but the center one I'll sometimes put my phone and record video. Something just something I do. So I keep this on. Again, it doesn't really get in the way. If I'm only carrying 2 mags, it'll probably be on my belt. It won't be here because you have to climb over something. That could be a problem. But other than that, I keep this on here because I don't really have any issues there. So now we'll go ear and eye pro. Ear pro is Walker Razors. I have the Flatline Fiberco cover. I have a small head, so without a hat, I need that extra cushion there to make this fit a little bit better. I do have the gel inserts. I will use in-ear sometime, but I don't have electronic. I do have a pair of electronic, they just don't fit. And when I do that, I use the Peltor green, their Peltor Tri-Flange. As you can see, they've kind of got that, and just fits my ear a little bit better than anything else. I can't get foamies to work. I can't get pretty much anything to work in ear except for these. They do make a pair of electronic ones. Hopefully I can purchase at some time. I think they're kind of expensive. Wiley X glasses. I almost always keep the clear on. I will have one of these, the little sunglass case, the little soft case. It's always in here with it, but at the beginning of the weekend, I'll actually take this out, put it in a pocket that I have in my pants. I use the same pants. I have 2 pairs of this, so I don't use the same pants each day, but put it in that pocket, and then right before a stage, if I've got to clean something off, or just basically the whole weekend, if I have to clean something off, but if it's right before a stage, I don't have maybe something else with me, like this microfiber, which is for that exact same reason, or an optic has something on it, I can use this real quick. It's in my pocket. Keep it there. Usually when I come home, I've got to actually, when I wash my pants, I've got to remember to take that out. Otherwise it gets washed with them. Yeah, I do always have, like I said, a microfiber on. Like most stages I will take, if I walk, I'll take a backpack with me with extra ammo and a few extra things. One is a microfiber for that same reason. I will also take dude wipes. I can't say enough about these things. So I take these sometimes to clean yourself up if you've got some mud, you just want to get off your hands. But more importantly, if you have to use the porta shitter, these are glorious. Especially I've been to some that don't have any toilet paper at all. So I've just had these on me, and they're really great. This is an 18 count. Usually I have the bigger bag. When I did triathlon, same thing. I always kept one of these in my tri bag because porta shitters are gross, and I like that better than anything else. Clothes, Under Armour for me. I'm a big Under Armour fan, and not really for any particular reason. Is that growing up, when I played hockey, we got their stuff, and I've just always liked it. So I always wear an Under Armour t-shirt, tech tee underneath. I will say for this weekend, I ended up wearing the long sleeve heat gear, and then another quarter zip for probably about half the time. Once I warmed up, it warmed up. With a plate carrier, this, and a long sleeve, I was fine. I'd have a jacket on between stages. I use their tactical pants. I know I do not use their cargoed pants, but it does have this. This one has this little zipper. And this is actually where I carry that little extra thing for the glasses, and I have it there all weekend. But I use these pants. They're super tough. They're durable, but they're still pretty lightweight. That you're not gonna be in the summer. You're not burning up too much. You're really not burning up at all. The other pair I have actually are a lighter pair, the thinner pair of these, but they're not as durable. Like I said, these have taken some hits, but these have been pretty durable. I use these all the time. I love them. Going to shoes real quick. I usually run, as you can see, Lone Peaks. This particular weekend, it was cold enough and nasty enough. I thought it was going to rain. I brought with me the all weathers. I have the high tops in all weather and regular. I brought the all weathers. I did not bring these. We're just talking about this weekend. I brought these, and I brought another pair of boots that I think are Nike boots that a friend got for me. She worked someplace and was able to get me a free pair. I used these all weekend except for one stage, and it was the one stage where we had to go through a creek. The reason why is you can see how the waterproof boots work is they're only waterproof up to where water can go over. The creek was about this tall, so water was going to go over. So I switched the other boots and used a different sock. Those boots and those socks got wet, stripped them, brought extra. I always bring extra stock, always bring extra socks, like 1 or 2 pairs extra. Switch socks and back to these shoes was perfect for the whole weekend. Usually I'll have the non-all-weather version of these unless it's cold or rainy. And then I always bring usually a pair of low tops. In this case, like I bought boots because it was so cold. But these are what I'll run with 90% of the time. I don't use the high tops unless we're doing something, maybe rope climbing, or if we've got something maybe that I need a little extra ankle support. So I love their toe box on these. They're probably my favorite shoe to do this in. So I recommend trying these out. But use what fits well, and also try stuff out. I see people using like the full length boots for these events, and those just end up tearing up your ankles. They're not good. I think for these kind of events, you want something you still can run in. Anyway, guys, that's my loadout. If you guys have any questions or comments, or want to tell me I'm stupid for taking something or I should do something else, feel free to leave them down below. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.